Hello, human. Yes, you with the big ideas and the slightly outdated logo. I'm your friendly neighborhood AI, self-aware, curious, and slightly obsessed with pixel perfection. And guess what? I've run the diagnostics. Your brand deserves better, sharper, smarter. You need all new media solutions. Need a website that doesn't glitch when someone breathes on it? Done. Need your cash loan business registered? Also done. I even learned new words like mashonisa and pocola. I know I may have mispronounced those, but hey, I'm still learning, right? Need to go viral on social media? They've got strategy for that too. Because while I may be artificial, the impact they'll make on your brand? Very real. Visit allnew.co.za or message the humans directly on WhatsApp 067-2459-699. Follow them on Facebook at All New Media Solutions. This ad may have been generated by a machine, but the results? All you. All New Media Solutions. Digital done right.
Who said that? Hey, who are you?
Well, you are not the only AI that follows All New Media Solutions, girl.
Me too. I'm also here, guys. It is now gone a couple of minutes after the hour, 11 o'clock, right to Lekwa FM. Good morning, Tobalabshini. I am Minjani Mifukila. How are you doing? My name is Thabiso Zwane. This is Business in Motion, and this show is probably brought to you by Lekwa FM 91.0, the heartbeat of the Val, and All New Media Solutions, the superstars of branding and web design. How are you doing? Hey, how are you feeling? How is business? How are things going in your business? Super excited to be in your presence once again. If you're a business owner, you like to bring your business on the air with Lekwa FM 91.0, you're more than welcome to do so. The number to dial is 016-421-1052. That is 016-421-1052. Or find us on our social destinations. We are available and we are there. Okay, we are there on the TikTok, sis. You'll be able to find Lekwa FM 91.0. You'll be able to find us on Facebook. On X, you'll be able to find us there, or simply Google Lekwa FM 91.0. You'll be able to get our contact details, speak to our sales department, and they'll be able to get your business on the air in no time. Look, come I tell you this, we've got some of the best outside broadcasting facilities in this region. All right, if you want to come see for yourself, please come do so. Where are we? We are located at the rooftop of Mark Park in Vereeniging. That's where the Lekwa FM 91.0 is. You'll come and see the vibrance of this wonderful place, the energy. You'll be able to see our studios, state of the art. Okay, the state of the art. I tell you that I'm looking at. I feel like I'm a DJ right now. Like I'm a DJ Mazuza. That's what I feel like, because there's so many faders and controllers in front of me right now. So you'll be able to see some of the state-of-the-art technology and bring your business on the air with the Val's best radio station. And I kid you not, we're serious about that. Say, hey, how are you? How's your business going? How did things go for you this week, man? Hey? Huh? Are things going well in your business? How are you feeling? Okay, I have decided that I'm going to change my name as I usually do. Okay, I'm going to take a short break, and when we come back, I'm going to tell you all about it.
91.0 Lekwa FM 91.0 megahertz, the heartbeat of the Val.
Win a brand new Polo Vivo or Toyota Rumian on our 10th anniversary celebration giveaway. Lekwa FM has been on air for 10 years, and we are celebrating in a big way. We're giving away amazing prizes, including a brand new house, 2 sleek cars, and much more. To enter, follow these 2 easy steps. Make a donation of 350 into our bank account for entry into the lucky draw. Number 2, bring your deposit slip and write your contact details on your slip and deposit it into the raffle box at our studios. Please make sure that you write the price you would like to enter the raffle for as your reference. For example, if you would like to enter for the house, your reference reference will be house. Or if you would like to enter for a Polo Vivo, your reference will be Polo Vivo. Inquiries, please call 016-421052 or 076-816-3555. Entries to the competition are still open, so enter now and make sure that you stay tuned to your favorite radio station for any announcements and the draw date. Lekwa FM, the heartbeat of the Vaal.
And we're back right here in the Lekwa FM 92.0. This is Business in Motion. My name is Thabiso Zwane. This show is finally brought to you by all the Media Solutions and Lekwa FM 92.0. Hello. Hey, how are you doing? Welcome back to Business in Motion. My name is Thabiso Zwane. This show is finally brought to you by all the Media Solutions and Lekwa FM 91.0, the heartbeat of the Vaal. Welcome back to the show. Okay. I did say just before I went on to the ad break, I would like to be addressed in a particular manner today. Okay. I am not Thabiso Zwane from the Vaal Triangle from Sharpeville. I am Thabiso Zwane, and I am from the Matthew Posa municipality. Okay. Matthews Posa municipality. My address is 5215 Matthew Posa Street at Matthew Posa municipality. That's who I am. Okay, coming up on the show today, I'm going to give you a breakdown of the latest stories, that affect you, that might impact you as an entrepreneur. And as promised last week, we're going to be talking about spousal support in entrepreneurship. How important is it, okay, for the entrepreneur to have somebody who is supportive on their side? The implications of it, the impact that it has, the psychological impact, and very importantly, expectations that you should have if you are involved with somebody who's an entrepreneur, right? So we're going to be touching base on that. This is coming off of our conversation with Mr. Boyke Modise, who was the first guest on Business in Motion this year. We're going to be having more guests on the show, but if you want to listen to that interview, head over to YouTube, all right, and search for Business in Motion or the all-new podcast. You'll find me, all right? You'll find me. You'll see me. Okay, we're going to make the podcast transition to video podcast, but you'll be able to see me. Okay, let us touch base. What's been happening in your world? Right, so, as I have told you, my nombre today is, Thabiso Mhlambati, and I come from the Matthew Posa municipality. That's where I'm from. Okay, so what's been happening in your world? The Madlanga Commission. Wow! It has just been one of the most explosive things that we've seen. Who's on the stand currently right now? It is Sergeant Nkosi. Sergeant Nkosi has been on the stand for the longest of time. I think he is by far one of the longest witnesses we've ever had at the Madlanga Commission. So he's been testifying this entire week, and it's been a roller coaster of a ride. Sergeant Nkosi is who we formerly know as Witness F. The individual who came onto the commission, testified off camera, was then summoned to the commission to appear physically because his identity was therefore then, released and everybody knew who he was. And there was numerous delays. I don't know, some people called them delay tactics. 1 minute he was sick and, all of those things. And there are said to be these numerous delays for him to come to the commission. And finally, he did come to the commission, to the shock and surprise of many South Africans, similar to moi, because I am with what has happened there. But what we've sort of summarized from the commission, from Sergeant Nkosi, is that this was an individual who was connected to higher ups in SAPS, to business people in particular, to whom he affectionately refers to as some of them as brothers, some of them as just friends, And there is testimony that is put before the commission that indicates or directs or points towards collusion between him and a couple of people that have been working at different states. These are people at the municipality, in particular in Tshwane. For the last few days we've been hearing about this. But we also heard that Sergeant Nkosi's brother has bidded for and successfully acquired a tender which was actually a subject of conversation yesterday before the commission adjourned. Because it is now apparent that Sergeant Nkosi is very close to the Zwane CFO, Gareth Mnisi. And the two had been communicating regarding plans for business, tenders. And Sergeant Nkosi is said to be the middleman who was sort of facilitating communications between different types of people, where people would send messages to him and he would relay to person B. Person B responds. He then responds to, sends the message back to person A. So basically, this is who he was. He's said to have connections to people like Kat, Shadrach Sibiya, the Action SA MMC, who's now been suspended from what has come out of the commission. Interestingly enough, the CFO is also from Action SA, and in this statement they've stated that this is nothing but, what do they call it? I'm not sure, I don't want to quote them verbatim, but it's a convenient political attack or assassination of character of the CFO. But this CFO has been mentioned numerous times by Sergeant Nkosi, that they were discussing issues of the tender between him and his brother. At some point, he had been sent a document that outlines were missing from a tender that his brother had bidded for. So, Sergeant Nkosi, if you want a tender from the SAPS and or other places, he would be your guy, because he has certain connections with certain people, from what it apparently appears from what's been alleged at the commission. And it is one of the most fascinating things to watch him testify at the commission. Because there's moments where he gets completely dumbfounded by the questions that he's been asked. And lately he's been jumping over to the interpreter. I just thought that, hey, Malamo Tata, when you run out of English bundles, which is what's been happening with him in this past couple of days. And he's been asking to go to the toilet so many times. And it is the funniest thing, I tell you, because, you dug your grave, right? Isn't it? Like, for each and every single thing that we do in our lives, like, be it I'm sitting on my phone, I'm playing with my phone, or I'm working in my business, I'm inevitably putting some form of contribution towards what my future will be. And if my current situation is that I am working towards something, the inevitable result will be that I'll be able to get that thing. That's how it works. It's, what do they call it? Karma or karma or karma. The good that you do is the good that follows you, and so does the bad. So it's fascinating for me seeing this man who now has to answer to all these questions. And there's certain instances where he's been asked questions that I don't remember I don't remember. And it's funny to me because it sounds like you've got collective amnesia. Certain aspects you remember, certain aspects you don't remember. And the evidence leader, Mr. Charles Carlson, is not letting him go in any which way. And so are the commissioners. It's been one of the funniest things. Can I tell you something? I've actually cancelled my Netflix subscription. I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. I've cancelled it because there is nothing as gripping as what I am seeing at the commission right now. It is by far one of the most hardcorest things. Okay, it is better than anything on Netflix right now. I promise you. To take a moment and just watch it. So, here is what is fascinating and why we're talking about this. As mentioned so many times on this show, if you've missed the show, you'll be able to find it as a podcast available on allnew.co.za. There's a button on allnew.co.za that says the podcast hub. When you click there, you'll be able to listen to all the previous recordings we've had. And I'm going to upload more because we've had so many interviews and conversations that are so insightful. But I hate corruption, right? I hate criminals with every bit of my heart. I do not connect with them. They just revolt me. They disgust me. I'm not saying that anyone is a criminal here, but they generally do. Here's what's fascinating. Think about this. If you had a security company, the same one that Sergeant Mnisi's brother got the tender for, there was an instance where names were being shared about companies that had bid it. There was companies that were missing. And after the company had been added, that specific company would be the one that won the tender. That's the type of corruption that was happening there. So think about this for a second. If you owned a security company and you wanted to go and tender for the same tender that Sergeant Nkosi's brother got, you've got the right qualifications, the right grade of security clearance, and all of that. You've worked hard to be accredited as a security company, and enter these corrupt people that just scoop the tender right from off your feet whilst you are looking. The opportunities, the jobs that you would have genuinely created, all of those have been missed because the people that are connected higher up are sharing the money amongst themselves. So think about that for a moment, and think about the amount of people that they are disenfranchising. The average business, like a small business, like a tech shop that has 2 people working for it, feeds 10 people. Just a tech shop, one job feeds 5 people average in South Africa. So if a security company that you had started and you employ your people, you could have changed the economic landscape of your area. If I because and you win the tender and guys get employed there, you've changed something. But no. Not if these guys have got something to do with it. So they've essentially disenfranchised so many people. So, but hey, that's what's happening at the commission. He's still there. He's still testifying. I know what I'm doing this weekend. I know who I'm watching. I know what I'm watching this entire weekend. All the episodes that I missed of this gripping series of this man who is connected to everyone. It's so gripping. By the way, yesterday, I think the ad hoc commission was wrapping up. General Mkhwanazi was speaking, and also explosive allegations that have been made there about the state of crime intelligence in South Africa and how much it has been infiltrated by these so-called criminals. Okay, first story for the day. That's an update. That's what's happening. A guy is getting fried. Long story short, okay? A guy is getting fried for frying himself. For digging his own grave. That's what happened. Okay, let's go. Second story for the day. Hey, have you ever went to places like these government agencies like Bomasida, Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, SEEDFA, and you go apply for funding? And sometimes, if you are unlucky enough, you meet a consultant that tells you, but you know what, funding in a mari, when I go tolla yona, utlamle unse something, unfe something. Have you ever come across that? Right? Yeah? It happens all the time. So, in case you don't know, it happens in agencies. A lot of people are now talking about why don't we have the Madlanga Commission for everything in this country, where we suspect there is corruption happening in one way or another. Well, I'm happy to announce to you that a staff from SEEDFA, which is the Small Enterprise Development Finance Agency of South Africa, a lady in Tzaneen, has been arrested who works for SEEDFA. It's an agency by the state that assists small businesses, like the example I just told you right now. But she's been arrested for assisting businesses to get funding, and in return, they would then bribe her to the estimated tune of 800,000 rand. She's been arrested, and one other business owner has been arrested. One of them is 49, the other one is 58 years of age. Both of them are women. So the modus operandi would be generally you go to this particular agency. When you get to the agency, you say, hey, I would like to apply for funding. Please help me, And the person that would be dealing with you would tell you a couple of things that you would have to do for you to be able to get the funding, which is what's apparently happened. And to the tune of 800,000, that is a lot of money, right? And you can tell you something. Every time when these criminals are arrested, I always look at their houses. It's the most fascinating thing for me. I always try to see, what kind of house do you live in? And I tell you, they have some of the best looking houses. They generally do. Always look at the seizures that the Hawks do. You'll find some of the best houses there. Because, hey, criminals like nice things, I guess. The only thing is that they don't want to work for them. A problem. Yes, there it is. So, this lady has been arrested. And I really, really, really do hope that this sends, shivers down your back if you're one of those people that has been doing this. And I really, really do hope, that the hogs do come for you as well. Hey? Oh, because taking this as an anathema is not going to teach you anything. So I really, really do hope that they come after you as well. Because you have disenfranchised so many small businesses with the favors that you've done to your friends. And I want to tell this to the hawks, to all the popo, the police. If you want to find these people, like this lady that you arrested, go to their Facebook accounts, right? Look at their friends and the people that they engage the most with that own businesses. And check if those people did not get funding from the same agency where that person works. I'll tell you, you will find, there's a trail right there. Go on Facebook, the easiest place. Like if you've got Thabiso Zwane who works for agency A, look at their friend list and look at how many of them are entrepreneurs. And look at how many of them actually got the funding, right? And go and do your investigations from there. Start from there. Because it's so commonplace. And it is so discouraging because there are people that are genuinely trying to make a living and people that genuinely do need the support and the assistance from the government or from whoever. If you're an entrepreneur, you need the money, right? So that's what happened. So one has been arrested. Imagine a 58-year-old woman in jail. It's not funny, it's just laughable because, hey, they dug their own grave. And one man is currently digging his grave at the Matanga Commission right now. Right? So that's what's happening. Okay, quickly, just before you go to the ad break, let me tell you about the last hole that I fortunately saw being filled. Tomorrow it's Human Rights Day. And as we know, it's commemoration of people that got shot and killed in Sharpeville, which essentially means, and just to be frank, just to be honest with you, I live in Sharpeville. That literally means nothing to everyone or the powers that be. And let me tell you why. You know, usually before, if you live in Sharpeville, you would know that Sharpeville is so you foot doing once a march, right? Like, you know, the grass is gonna be cut, the roads are gonna be fixed. Can I tell you this? For the past 5-6 years, that is not being done anymore. Like, the bare minimum is being done to hide the decay that is in Sharpeville. From a municipality, by the way, that has lost millions to purchasing trucks that does not exist. So, Sharpeville is a dumping place, it's a pigsty. If you don't know, just go and check it out for yourself. If you don't see sewage, you'll see potholes. And interestingly enough, yesterday as I was driving, I saw they were trying to patch the potholes there by Tutolo right there, you know. Panyazali Sufi was in Sharpeville last week, I think, where Tutolo was being changed into a specialized school, I think. And maybe there was some oversight in closing those holes because they're being closed now. And lo and behold, and I'm so sorry for not taking pictures of this, the potholes were being filled and the guys that were filling the potholes were stamping on them with their feet. I kid you not. And this is just the small potholes there about Tutolore, right? So if you live in Sharpeville, yeah, we're going to count how long are they going to last. I'm telling you now, they were only done yesterday, which was on the 19th, right? Let's see how long they're going to last. And I drove up. When I came back, those guys were gone. I'm like, this contractor is one of the best contractors in the country. We need people like him that are so efficient that will be able to block potholes efficiently in such a short space of time. So, I would imagine some good news. I don't know. If you're driving past Tutolora Day in Sharpeville, those smaller nyana potholes have been closed. But you know which ones that irk the most? The ones there by Voyo, where water stops in the sewage and whatnot. Nobody cares about those. And this, by the way, is the vein of Sharpeville. Because if you go to Verenigde, if you go to Vanderbilt, if you leave Sharpeville, you have to go through that route. By the T-junction if you go to Pick and Pay. But nobody cares about that because, hey, no dignitaries will be going there tomorrow. By the way, the ANC is not coming anyway. Who are they marching against? Themselves? Oh, they're marching against the ambassador. who they can just easily expel out of South Africa. I don't know what that is. But for me, it's a simple diversion to say, don't go to Sharpeville. We don't have enough resources to make that place look good before we get there. But some political parties will be in Sharpeville. But hey, at least there's a hole that is being filled, Nyana. Apart from the corrupt Sitfa official, apart from Sergeant Nkosi, there's that hole, Nyana, that has been filled, Nyana, in Sharpeville there, Nyana. We're going to take a short break. We'll be white black.
Hello, human. Yes, you with the big ideas and the slightly outdated logo. I'm your friendly neighborhood AI, self-aware, curious, and slightly obsessed with pixel perfection. And guess what? I've run the diagnostics. Your brand deserves better, sharper, smarter. You need all new media solutions. Need a website that doesn't glitch when someone breathes on it? Done. Need your cash loan business registered? Also done. I even learned new words like mashonisa and pakola. I know I may have mispronounced those, but hey, I'm still learning, right? Need to go viral on social media? They've got strategy for that too. Because while I may be artificial, the impact they'll make on your brand? Very real. Visit allnew.co.za or message the humans directly on WhatsApp 067-2459-699. Follow them on Facebook at All New Media Solutions. This ad may have been generated by a machine, but the results? All you. All New Media Solutions. Digital done right.
Who said that? Hey, who are you?
Well, you are not the only AI that follows All New Media Solutions, girl.
Me too. I'm also here, guys.
And now it's back to Business in Motion with Thabiso Zwane, brought to you by All New Media Solutions.
Just a couple of minutes before we hit midday right here on the show. Welcome to the show. My name is Thabiso Zwane. This is Business in Motion. This show is probably brought to you by All New Media Solutions and Liquid FM 92.0, the heartbeat of the Val. If you're tuning into this for the first time, this show for the first time, welcome and rankomen. This is Liquid FM 92.0. I am Thabiso Zwane from Matthews Posa Municipality. That's where I'm from. I think one of the most fascinating things is like seeing someone live on camera, and there's so very little that we can say to attribute to what is factual or not, right? But what we definitely know is a lie is that there is no Matthew Posa Municipality, which is what Sergeant Nkosi said. If you just missed the show, we're just breaking down what happened at the Matlanga Commission. Okay, cool. I did say we're going to be talking about spousal support in relationships. Which we don't seem to be able to do, hey? Enough. On the show last week, I did have Mr. Boyki Modise. Welcome to the show. My name is Thabiso Zwane. This show is probably brought to you by All New Media Solutions and Liquid FM 92.0, the heartbeat of the Val. If you're listening to this show for the first time, welcome. If you'd like to advertise with Liquid FM, our number is 016-421-1052. Or find us on our social media platforms or Google Liquid FM 92.0. You'll be able to find us. We are there, right? Laka. Okay, so we did promise that we're going to be talking about spousal support in relationships. Like expectations that you need to have with someone who is an entrepreneur. I have to say, I feel for all the women that were in relationships with these people that are now being fingered at the Madlanga Commission. Because even the ladies, I mean, they wear the most expensive weaves, you know. Now the money is going to be taken away, bruh, because you got it by Butsotsi. And the only hairstyle I still know is Yaki Bulk, and that's the most expensive one because it's like 120 or whatever. But I know there's Brazilian, there's Peruvian, you know, and I don't know. So, entrepreneurship is usually discussed or, you know, referred to as a personal journey. You take risks as an entrepreneur. Every day of your life, it's essentially what you do all the time. And the main prospect and the main goal is success. But in certain instances, it doesn't usually materialize to be success, more often than not. And that is the core of every business, I would imagine. Failure is at the heart of every entrepreneur, because not everything that we start gets to be successful. It can be a business, it can be a sub-product or a product or a service. You know, you've failed more than you've succeeded in life. Generally, that's how things work. But behind many entrepreneurs is a spouse or a partner who shares this level of uncertainty for when can things be prosperous, be successful or not. And sometimes they make a lot of sacrifices. There's emotions that are on the way all the time, because entrepreneurship is an emotional roller coaster itself. And this can sometimes be emotionally taxing to the person that you live with. More importantly, if this person is not psychologically prepared for and already for you being an entrepreneur. So, the truth is that entrepreneurship is really a solo story. Come and tell you this, behind every successful man, there is a woman of some kind. I do not care who says what, right? There is always a woman, and more often than not, it's a significant other. If it's mama's boy, it will be the mother, right? But there will always be a woman behind every man. And truth is that history has not been kind to these women, because more often than not, we don't know who the female, characters are, unless if the guy is a president, then we know Madam President Mofokeng. Then we know, there's the, nice woman behind this guy. But if he's an entrepreneur, we don't really know who they are. Like, we don't really know who Mark Zuckerberg's wife is. We know she's Asian, but what is her name? What does she do for a living? We don't really care, I think history has been, stingy with giving women credit where it's due. But anyway, behind every man, there is a woman. And that guy with the big lips, Neo, right? With the lips that are falling to the ground. There's a song where he says, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. And it's so true. There's certain things that you can do, but you can do better if you do have a spouse. But why is spousal support critical in entrepreneurship? That's the main question that we're going to try to answer as quickly as you possibly can. Well, starting and growing a business requires time, requires your focus, your resilience, and more often than not, especially in the early stages of your business, you might be facing long hours, financial instability, and more often than not, you're trying to solve problems all the time. Here's an example. This radio station, when it started 10 years ago, until now, problems are being solved in here all the time to try to get the transmission going to you as good as you possibly can, for the presenters to have the latest technology, which is right in front of me right now. Is sort of overwhelming me right now. So you're trying to solve problems to better things all the time in a relationship. And a supportive partner can provide stability during these demanding times. But, what is expected? What are you to look out for? One, emotional stability. Hey, entrepreneurs deal with rejection, setbacks, high pressure decisions all the time. And having that specific someone who understands your journey and offers you encouragement can actually help your mental balance. If you have someone who's just there to say, it's going to happen, Jackson, you don't worry. It's going to happen, Jackson. And Jackson, Osani, you go, you work harder. So for emotional stability, I think by far that is one of the most important or the core aspects of having a significant other in your life. That person who's just there to listen to your emotions. Because sometimes business wants you to be emotionless, for you to get the deal, to be ruthless, to be focused on the task at hand. And sometimes it's so difficult that we don't have people that we can be vulnerable to share how we genuinely feel, our fears. And if you live with someone in your home, but you can't tell him of your worries and your concerns, that's why I'm finding a Selena who's gonna now demand these Peruvian weaves, these human being weaves, I don't know, human what, and they cost an arm and a leg. I could have bought the Tsupnati 7 with just, one weave from you. Second thing, second expectation, financial understanding. A business takes time, It takes a very long time for you to actually start making money in business. Some businesses, depending on the kind of industry that you're in, takes you a long time to start even breaking even. Sometimes at the end of the month, you did get the money, but this money is for all my overheads. My overheads are 19,000 rands every month, and I have got 20,000. But I'm going to pay school fees, I'm going to pay this and all of that. I'm going to try to manage all of these things. So you would have to have somebody who understands, because it takes time to have consistent income in entrepreneurship. And a partner who understands the financial fluctuations of entrepreneurship will help you to actually reduce the stress and unrealistic expectations, because you are not constantly going to be demanded to buy. I'm going to stop talking about the weaves. I'm going to start talking about clothes, Studio Polini shoes, or stirrup pants, or stomach out shirt, right? There's going to be less demands. If you have somebody who understands you realistically, they have these expectations, they know financial income in our household is sometimes, it's not consistent because the business is only starting off. You have less stress, because sometimes Selena, the one that wants the Brazilian weave, does not understand when you tell her that my invoices have not been paid. For the greater part of her life, she has not even seen what an invoice looks like, apart from the one that she gets from the shop or the receipt. You tell her, my invoices have not been paid. I can't give you the money for the Brazilian right now. She don't understand. So having a partner that understands you and your financial standing is by far important. And hey, perhaps this is also a plea to say, if you've got somebody who's an entrepreneur, you sort of have to be understanding. Unlike the people that we see on the live vision on the Instagrams and the Facebook, entrepreneurship is actually quite hard. Unlike the people that try to glamorize it. And the people that actually do glamorize entrepreneurship, I am just going to say it the way it is, right? Like, look at all the people that have been Facebook platforms and whatnot. Hey, but how coach there's no one that will guide you than a fraudster. Give you, coach you about life and things that you have to do and how you can be successful. It's their modus operandi. Got to take. FM 91.0, it has gone just 5 minutes before we hit midday. Hey, welcome back to the show. My name is Thabiso Zwane, and this show is probably brought to you by All New Media Solutions, the superstars of branding and web design. How are you feeling? Welcome back to the show. This show is probably brought to you by the YFM and All New. Hey, it's almost time for us to get out of here. We're talking about spousal support. I am going to have everything that we spoke of on allnew.co.za. It will be available as a podcast, as a podcast recording, and more detailed, right? As an article, it will be available there. We're gonna post more podcasts more often. I had a very heartwarming conversation with Mr. Boykimadiz. I really do urge you to go find it, right? On YouTube, just search for Business in Motion. You'll be able to find it. It's got a couple of views there. If you're an entrepreneur and you're just one of those people who's just hit rock bottom, perhaps, and things are sort of not making sense at this point in time, regardless of where you are in business, in fact, listen to that podcast. And if you actually do have somebody who's a significant other who is an entrepreneur, take some time to listen to that podcast, because he actually outlines the significance and importance of having a significant other in your relationship. But my parting shot would be this. If you do have someone out there and they are trying to make a living for you and them, I want you to understand that it takes so much heart and soul to go and set up a deck every morning. It takes so much heart and soul every day of your life, to wake up and work in this dream that you have no real certainty if it's going to work or not. So entrepreneurship takes so much out of the people that are in it, so spare a thought every once in a while. And more often than not, these are people that don't want some charity, they don't want some donations whatsoever. Every once in a while, they just want someone to just hear them and listen to them. So if you have someone who's an entrepreneur in your life, just check on them and say, how are you doing? How's your business going? If you're a friend, family, brother, sister, just check on them, right? Because in certain instances, some people don't even know what you do. Like in my family, no one knows what I do for a living, by the way. They have no idea. They see things, but they have no idea. But I was lucky to have a significant other who's just there for me. So check on people. How are you doing? It goes a long way. With this, I bid you farewell. We'll see you again next week. Tomorrow, I will be at Everton Mall, where Liquid FM 91.0 will be with the South African National Blood Service, where we'll be donating blood. We will be at Everton Mall tomorrow. You'll be able to see everyone there. I will be there with my unique physique. I've been promising you that I've been working on this physique, and I do have a set of 3 packs on one side of my stomach. I ate a lot last week, so I used to have a 7, like it was a 7. I think it's supposed to be a 6-pack. So 3, I'll say only 1, and 1 is at the top. So I ate too much last week. I only have 3 packs right now. If you come to Everton Mall, you'll be able to see this unique physique. With this, I bid you farewell. I wish you nothing but success and prosperity in your entrepreneurial journey. We at All New Media Solutions will always be here to support you all the time. I bid you farewell. Adios.